What's happening, Fringe fam? It's PK here in Austin, Texas, and today I'm gonna tell you about the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different benefits of strength training beyond just muscle. Stick around for number 8. It's a little racy. I'm not sure if YouTube is gonna take it down. So if you're seeing this now, watch to the very end because YouTube may kill us and get it off here. All right, but before we jump in, I wanna also invite you to join me in our private Facebook community, Garage Gym Revolution. It's full of people just like you and me who are trying to improve our lives through strength, and it's full of positivity and help. Link, boop, down there in the comments below. I also wanna remind you, follow us on Instagram. We've got a cool Instagram feed, and I wanna see you on it. All right, let's get into it. 8 benefits of strength training. The number 1 benefit, and this is like super obvious, it helps with all sorts of functional movements in your life. There's the cliche that when you go to the grocery store, you load up all those bags in your car, you drive your car home, and then if you're a man, cliche, you have to carry all those bags into your house at the same time. Well, if you're stronger, it's gonna help with that. Also, if you have to help a friend move, if you have to put something in the overhead bin of an airplane, something like that. So number 1, it helps with all the functional movements in your life. Number 2, it helps avoid diabetes. So there are a couple of different types of diabetes. Obviously, this doesn't affect the childhood type, but adult onset diabetes is a real and debilitating disease. And studies show that regular strength training minimizes the risk of onset of diabetes. Again, you don't want diabetes. Do you love your toes? I love mine, so train. The number 3 benefit of strength training is it increases bone density. Now I'm 41 years old. Now that's not terribly old, but it's older than I've ever been, and tomorrow I'll be even older. And as people age, especially females, osteoporosis, you see this, you see decreased bone density, which leads to a really big problem as you get older because it decreases the youthful span of your life. You get easier broken bones, you can't be as active and all that stuff. And regular strength training, studies have shown again and again, is almost like magic for increasing bone density, or at least making sure that you do not lose more bone density than you need to. Now, number 4, increased endorphins, reduce stress. Oh my goodness, this is my favorite one. I've talked to you guys before about how when I line my hands up on a barbell, I get underneath it and I fight with mean old Mr. Gravity that I just can't help but have a smile on my face. It's one of those things that some days I'm like, I'm just pissed off. And my wife says, get out in the garage and go lift something, Peter. And you know what? She's right when she says it. I have never gone for a lifting session and come back feeling worse than when I went out in the garage to lift. So reducing stress, increasing endorphins. So number 5 is also heavily related to aging. You are at reduced risk for neurodegenerative disease if you regularly strength train as you get older. Neurodegenerative disease, again, we're coming back to the extension of youthful life. That is something that is wildly important to me. In a previous video, I've talked about how strong is strong, how strong do you want to be. For me now, at 41 years old, over the hill, looking at the back half of my life, I'm actually more interested in increasing my youthful life, my ability to enjoy time with my daughters, and then eventually my grandkids, and then eventually my great-grandkids, than I am in having absolute maximal strength. And part of what I need for that is I need to be mentally together. And so continuing to strength train as I age is gonna help me to fight off those neurodegenerative diseases. Number 6 is reduced risk of cancer. Man, F cancer. I'm sure everyone who's watching has had their life affected by cancer in one way or another, one of their loved ones, friends, something like that. And you know what? It's never for the better. F cancer. But again, the studies show a strong correlation between strength training and reduced cancer risk. Now moving into number 7, increased mobility and flexibility. Now this is something that's kind of interesting. I was joking with somebody in the comments of a previous video. I, Peter Keller, cannot touch my toes, and I never have been able to touch my toes. However, if you ask me to hang out in the bottom position of a squat, I'll do that all day. I remember at some gyms that I've been to, they've said, all right, everybody squat down and hold your squat at the bottom for 2 minutes. And then I get down there in the bottom of the squat and people are like, oh, this is terrible. And I'm just like, this is Tuesday. But that's because I squat so much in my training. Even though I can't touch my toes, in terms of functional fitness type movements, I really have excellent flexibility. And so you're gonna have increased mobility and flexibility. One of the things that I think of mobility is I think of athleticism. I've talked with you before about how I love to play soccer, and I used to be a runner. Now, here's a secret. When I used to run and strength train very little, if at all, I was fast in a straight line. But ask me to juke, ask me to turn at speed, ask me to jump up, jump down, dodge around something. Well, I wasn't really the greatest at that, because runners, not only are they what we call single mode, like running, they typically are running in just one plane. And by the way, they almost never run backwards, they're almost always just running forwards. So strength training gives you the mobility, the flexibility to do all of these things. Are you ready for number 8? Number 8 with a bullet? I'm gonna tell you a secret, a benefit of strength training that not a lot of people talk about: better sex. Uh-oh, the YouTube gods are coming. They're listening for us. They're gonna take us down. But it's true. Get your significant other in a strength training routine, you're not gonna say the sex is worse. It's gonna be better. You're gonna be stronger. You're gonna be more confident. You're gonna wanna try stuff that you only saw in some video on a different site, and you're gonna love it. So there you go. Thanks for sticking with me until the end. And I wanna remind you again, join us in our private Facebook community, Garage Gym Revolution, linky below, and hit us up on Instagram at Fringe Sport. This has been PK from Austin, Texas. I love you, our brothers and sisters of iron. Go lift heavy, lift happy.